This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with my weekly review of the points I find interesting in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter. WWE has its biggest money show of the year, October the 21st in Saudi Arabia. Crown Jewel, which the company is being paid $50 million to present. It's the first Crown Jewel event since the pandemic. It's going to feature Goldberg, Lesnar, and very likely Edge, among others. Bret Hart is going to be one of 12 inductees for the 2021 Canada Walk of Fame. I did not even know we had a Walk of Fame in Canada until I read this. Where it is, I have no idea. Apparently, Nikki Bella said this past week that her doctor told her she'll never be able to wrestle again due to all of her injuries from that extremely physical career she had. Who could forget all of those classic Nikki Bella matches? In some sad news, Meltzer reports here that superstar Billy Graham, my good friend and mentor, has been undergoing medical tests regarding health issues, including fluid buildup in his lungs and an irregular heartbeat. He was hospitalized 2 weeks ago, but is back home. And he's had a lot of health issues. He's a very tough guy. And one thing that I learned in recent days is he's actually entered the heart failure stage. So his heart is failing. I'm very, very sad to report that. And he does have a GoFundMe. If you look up Billy Graham on GoFundMe, if you want to help him with all of his tests, he's a really nice guy. Great guy, great friend. Apparently, Alberto Del Rio is telling people he's going back to WWE once his legal situation regarding the alleged assault on his ex-girlfriend in San Antonio is cleared up. For the UBS Arena event that Raw is coming to on November 29th, and Dynamite is coming to on December 8th. Raw has only sold 2,755 tickets, and Dynamite has sold 7,392 tickets. So as far as the live event business goes, AEW has the hotter ticket right now than WWE. Apparently, Pat McAfee says his SmackDown job isn't about money. He loves the job and working with Michael Cole, and says he will wrestle again. Kenny Doane, who wrestled as Kenny Dykstra, and Allison Danger, who is the sister of Steve Corino, have both been hired as NXT coaches. I haven't heard of Kenny Dykstra doing much since his WWE run in the early 2000s, so good for him getting a job. Apparently, one of the reasons why Davey Boy Smith Jr. hasn't been seen since his dark match before SmackDown and the online interview he did after that for WWE's website, one of the reasons why we haven't seen him since then is he had COVID. Apparently, he's fine now and was backstage at the draft show in Baltimore. However, I don't believe he has been drafted. I talked to Bruce and Ross Hart, his uncles, a couple weeks ago in an interview you guys can look up on here, where we discussed Harry being signed since like April. And at least he's getting a paycheck. He hasn't, I think he's had the one match and done the one promo after, and he's been paid. But I hate to see him being wasted like this. As far as the October 1st SmackDown taping in Baltimore, the show drew 7,232 fans with 5,200 paid. The October 4th Raw taping in Nashville drew 5,400 fans with 3,700 paid. The Dynamite 2-year anniversary special from Philadelphia this week had 6,800 paid. There doesn't seem to be a number figure for how many people were at Rampage last week. According to Dave Meltzer, the WWE average paid attendance for September was 5,380 compared to August when they had John Cena on the shows, 6,667. Now, it's not quite fair to compare their attendance to AEW because WWE is doing house shows and AEW isn't. But AEW beat them, and I'm sure the Arthur Ashe Stadium crowd certainly helped. It had an average of 9,061 fans, which was up from 5,883 in August. So again, the AEW only does 2 shows a week unless there's a pay-per-view. Then there's 3, whereas WWE seems to be doing about 4 shows a week. NXT is still not running house shows to my knowledge, which is not good for getting wrestlers experience. NXT only did a 0.13 rating this week. Dynamite did a 0.37 rating. SmackDown did a 0.62 rating. Rampage, let me look up. I forgot to write down the Rampage rating. But it was their lowest. Rating, I seem to recall. Yeah, the Rampage did not do well. So SmackDown, the same night that it did a 0.62, Rampage did a 0.25. Dark Side of the Ring, and I have to say, I haven't even finished watching this episode on FMW. It's the only episode more boring than the FMW one is the Korea one. It's really boring, and it had the lowest viewership in the history of the series, 0.04. A lot better subjects they could do for sure. It was up to a 0.05 this week for the Johnny K9 episode. I did watch that one last night. I have been around bikers in my life, and one thing I didn't really like about the Nick Gage Dark Side of the Ring is kind of like how they put over that he was a criminal, and it seemed like for this Johnny K9 one too, they kept trying to say what a good guy he was, even though he was involved in a lot of criminal activity. Even Chris Benoit, they were sticking up for him in his episode. So I don't like how they kind of give passes because, you know, I've been involved in some incidents with some people like Johnny K9, and people involved in that kind of activity have a real dark side. Definitely have a real dark side, and I don't think that they should be glorified. That's for sure. MLW Fightland, which was on Vice last night following Dark Side of the Ring, only did a 0.01 rating. Impact Wrestling on Access did a 0.02. Chris Harris, who was undefeated in the WWE, by the way. Wildcat Chris Harris in TNA, and what the hell was his name in WWE? It's not coming to me, but he was undefeated. One of the few people that went completely undefeated in WWE. Braden Walker, yes. Apparently, on October 5th, he was arrested in Kenton, Kentucky for driving under the influence. World Class Pro Wrestling had their return show October the 3rd in Wichita, Kansas, in front of about 600 fans. Kurt Gannon defeated Double D with Erica Torres. Rodney Mack defeated Flex Zebra. AWR champion The Outlaw with Merrick McMichaels and Trixie defeated Dmitry Alexandrov. Devastation Reborn defeated the Step Brothers. Texas heavyweight champion The Blood Hunter, managed by the gorgeous Blaze, defeated ECW original and former WWE and WCW superstar The Sandman. Gino Medina defeated Gideon Vane. Jerry the Boss Bostic defeated Kyle Hawk, who was robbed over the weekend in a carjacking. Sorry to hear that, Kyle. Moonshine Mantell defeated Jacob Fatu. Marty Bell defeated Erica Torres. Matt Hardy and Fuego del Sol went to a no decision when there was interference that led to Matt Hardy and Fuego del Sol teaming up to defeat Gideon Vane and Thorn the Hunter. So, great return event for World Class Pro Wrestling. Their next event is December the 11th at Southern Junction in Irving, Texas, featuring Mankind, QT Marshall, the Von Erich Boys, the Blood Hunter managed by Blaze versus Carlito, and a lot more. And that is going to be the start of monthly events at Southern Junction in Dallas. I believe Kevin Sullivan and Eric Embry are also going to be at Southern Junction in Dallas, as they are now booking for World Class. In UFC news, Conor McGregor revealed that the number of buys for his January 21st fight versus Dustin Poirier was 1,504,737. So that was their first fight. The rematch apparently probably broke that record. So say what you want about McGregor. Those are huge buys. The Francis Naganu versus Cyril Ghania heavyweight title unification match in the UFC is scheduled for January 22nd in Las Vegas. I like both of those guys, but I do say that Naganu is the true heavyweight champion. Some sad news: bare knuckle fighting championships happened on October 4th. And Justin Thornton, who was 38, passed away after injuries that took place in his fight. So sorry to hear about that. He was knocked out in 19 seconds by Dylan Klecker. I don't think they pay very much for bare knuckle fighting, from what I understand. Remember when who was that gay porn star guy that was in WWE? The gay porn star guy that was in WWE, he was saying he was going to go into bare knuckle fighting. So did Braun Strowman at one point. It's like, they're not going to pay you guys anything what you made in WWE. And it's going to be real, and it's going to be bare knuckle. I don't think you're going to do it. Thanks, Maria, for the $5 tip. Why is his name not coming to me? I'm going to search up gay porn star WWE. Lars Sullivan, who threw away so many opportunities. Colonel Quail Piper is sleeping at my feet right now. Hello to Herb Simmons. Malik, I agree with you. Hottest manager in professional wrestling, and I'm sure is going to manage the Blood Hunter all the way to the top of the professional wrestling business. Hello, Scott. Jared's excited for Crown Jewel. Victor Murphy wearing his Hannibal TV skull hoodie, which, by the way, you can go to the HannibalTV.com and click on the merchandise link or go in the description of this video. We do have a lot of merchandise, and especially in this fall weather, these hoodies are very comfortable. This one is a Hannibal 420 hoodie. Hello to Pubert, watching on our Great North Wrestling Twitch stream. Danny, does Canada have a Hall of Fame? There's a Hockey Hall of Fame. Paladin's a big AEW fan. Mike D, tipping $2. Every bit counts. He says the Matt Bourne version of Doink should be in the 2022 WWE Hall of Fame. Jared likes the way that I pronounce McAfee. Real Nick likes that I'm hydrating. Well, I'm about to do my 11-mile run. It's actually beautiful weather out here for October. This is going to be my third workout of the day. I did legs, I did chest, I did back. Now I'm going to run. So I'm on actually quite a good roll here. Malik loved my Tony Atlas interview. Chris says RIP. Reggie Parks. MC, I don't think NXT is doing pay-per-views anymore either, but who knows? Wendell, have I watched the TV show Heels? A lot of people have asked me to. Some people have actually been annoying me about it, and I just have no interest in watching it. No interest at all in watching it. Oh, you can be a biker and be a good person. Well, tell that to their victims. Tell that to their victims. That's all I have to say. Carlos is an MLW fan. I like a lot of the people in MLW. I like Joseph Samael. I like Jacob Fatu. Scott, well, the weed is now legal in Canada, so you can get pretty much whatever you want. I can walk up my street and within 15 minutes pass 3 places where you can buy weed. And you can get pretty much whatever you want, so yeah. Thoughts on Fury versus Wilder? I haven't really been paying attention to it. When is my next UFO video, Carlos? It's very hard to find. It's very hard to find credible UFO people to talk to. I'm always looking, though. Yes, Window, you can grow it in Canada, but I'm hardly a Martha Stewart type. And I'd rather take the drops. That's the healthiest way to take them, or vape. But if someone wants to send me free weed or give me free weed, in those cases, I will smoke it, but I prefer not to smoke it because it's bad for your cardio. Thank you, Carlos. You're a great supporter of this channel. I'm going to wrap up tonight with your lovely tip. Have a great weekend. Sunday, I will be interviewing Shane Douglas, and it's going to be almost all fan questions.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match